Hello, everyone. This is Tom, the Lone Wolf Prepper. Welcome to the Lone Wolf Prepper channel for Dukes of Hazzard Friday Night Live. And boy, it's been one heck of a week, hasn't it? Like I say, if you got a YouTube channel, you could sit on YouTube for 3 hours and just discuss what's happened by lunchtime. Anyway, the channel's growing. I appreciate everybody watching the videos, subscribing, stuff like that. Okay. The shirts are here. So, Carol, if we get new people in here, I'll see if I can get rid of a couple shirts. And that's another thing, Carol. Are you there? If you're there, Carol, I need you to send me your address if you got my email. If you didn't get my email, I need to know. But anyway, I want to give away some shirts. See this? This is the front. And this is the back. Anyway, I want to get my squad going. Like I said, organize. Because we got a whole crap show coming ahead of us big time. But anyway, shirts are here. So, we can start getting rid of them, start giving them out and get the word out, get the channel growing, let's start getting organized. Okay. That's the whole idea behind the shirts. Start my part to get organized. Anyway, one thing about YouTube, I see there are conservative channels that are growing, which is nice. The smaller channels are starting to grow. I mean, yeah, mine's growing about at 1 mile an hour, but I do push YouTube's buttons flat out. I'll admit it. I mean, I'm so sick of this garbage. I press their buttons and I don't grow like I should, but has to be said. I'm not afraid to say it. But some of these softer spoken conservative channels are still like Prepper Dog. I'm glad that's shout out to him. I'm glad his channel's growing. Gives a Bible passage out after every video, and he does it in a more calm way. Yeah, well, your shirt's coming, Carol. Like I say, you got my email, right? Just send me your address because I want to send your shirt off and a couple pens. And if your husband wants a shirt, give me his name and his size, and I'll get one made up for him. Anyway, but I just need some addresses, just like with Sonny's shirt. And then I got my kids' shirts in today and stuff. So anyway, but just like I say, it's just something that I feel I have to do, to organize, to do my little part and organize. So when this all comes down, I can sit there and say, I tried my best. When I'm out here completely safe by myself, I don't have to feel guilty because I tried. Okay? Anyway, that's the whole deal behind the shirts. To wake people up, I think they look nice anyway. But anyway, yeah, Carol, I need you to send me an email so I can get that stuff sent off to you. Anyway, talking about conservative channels growing. Well, there's obviously a conservative wave going through the U.S., okay? And they all searching and thirsting for the truth. And they're getting it from the mainstream media and other sources that we're used to getting it from. This ain't the Walter Cronkite era anymore. So they're coming to social media, to conservative websites, and that's why these channels are growing. Another reason these channels are growing is because I'll call it the older guard of the prepping channels and the conservative channels are starting to weed themselves out, because the money they used to make on YouTube 8 years ago, 6 years ago, 4 years ago ain't there no more. So they're going other places where the money's at. Anyway, this channel, everybody knows it's not about money, okay? Well, if you need to resend your email, let me see if I can type this in real quick. Here, I'm going to type it in real quick for you. Let's see, Eager Beaver Tree Care. Okay. Just a second, guys. This is my email. And eagerbeavertreecare@gmail.com. Did you get that, Carol? Anyway, yeah, I want to get this stuff sent off. Like it's a flash shirt, gets people to look. And they're like, where'd you get that from? I can't think of anything else besides putting an ad on the radio. I mean, I'm about to that point. I'm going to put an ad on the radio. It only costs $300 or $400 for like a month. Put an ad on the radio talking about freedom and liberty. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I just, we're going down a road that's really bad. So, but anyway, talking about the conservative channels picking up. Like I say, the old guard's kind of fallen off. Us newer guards, and I'll call them that, are picking up. But like I say, people are craving the truth. World War II in Germany, when these Germans want to hear the truth because they saw what was going on around them. And then they were hearing what their government was saying. Well, they knew that was bullcrap. So they were listening to the BBC at night on the radios, which was an offense that could get you killed. We ain't to that point yet. But this is what I'm saying. This is why conservative channels are growing. Little by little. Keep putting out that content. It's a good time to start up a channel. Like I say, good time to start up a channel if only you put out one video, 10 minutes tops, one video to tell the federal government who you're giving your support to. Okay, we have 200 million people on YouTube with separate channels doing that. They can't steal the election. Hi, Kristen. Got your shirt in today. I'll get it sent off on a Monday. Same with you, Carol. I'll get sent off on Monday. All that stuff in your pens. But anyway, it's just we're going down a bad road. I mean, the more and more you got to hear, the more crazier it gets. Okay, now I got to talk about everybody needs to get a channel. Speak your mind. It's not time to be quiet. You got the ability now to get on YouTube or some social media platform and give your opinion to anybody. I mean, I went on X and told Elon Musk that his channel stinks because I'm not allowed to leave a comment. You sit there and tell me how I'm supposed to, what I think of your platform, but I'm not allowed to leave a comment. It's a multiple choice guess. I told him so. And he even responded to me with, wow. He didn't cut me off X. But everybody needs to start channel up. 10 minutes. Until, Kamala Harris, you're a communist or whatever. Be respectful about it. Be sarcastic about it. Use satire. Whatever. Get the message across. We live in a day and age where you can do that. They want to try to steal the election. Like I say, if we got 200 million votes from all separate people saying they support Trump, they can't steal the election. Okay? Not a time for anybody to be silent at all. At all. You're wearing this shirt through a store and somebody asks you about it. Well, obviously they're going to probably figure out that you're probably conservative, then start talking. That could be a stranger that you don't know that thinks just like you. Okay? And if it's somebody that doesn't think like you, then say, hi, have a nice day, and, tell them about my channel and let them get mad at me. Okay? But we all need to start banding together. And one way is for everybody to get a video. I love to see YouTube. It X. Don't even try it on Facebook. They ain't going to approve your channel. But YouTube and X is even easier. And make that 30-second video. Okay? Just, you have the chance now to tell these pieces of garbage how you feel about them. And not only them, you get to express it to the whole world. Okay? And show your face. It's a lot more sincere. BRB. Is that for your husband? BRB. I'm assuming that's for your husband. Or I have no idea what that means. Anyway. But yeah, I'd like to get a shirt for your husband too with his name on it. And I just need his size and stuff. Anyway, now we're going to get into the subject. Are we going to have World War III before the election? Okay, like the Democratic presidential campaign is falling apart. Every time Kamala Harris opens her mouth, she loses hundreds of thousands of voters. Okay, so they know they're not going to win. They can't even cheat a win this time. So like Gerald Celente says, when there's nothing left, they take you to war. Okay? And there's nothing left. What are they going to do? They tried taking the guy, throwing him in jail, tried to bankrupt him. Now they're trying to kill him. The thing is, you guys can try to get rid of him all day long. That's just going to make a martyr out of him and really piss us off. See, the difference between the communist side and our side, see, I'm not following Donald Trump. He's saying that he's going to try to bring America back and get the government out of my life. I know he's no George Washington. Well, I hope they don't start barking. But, you know, he's staying out of my life. What's Kamala Harris got? Communist Manifesto 2.0. But anyway, I mean, what else can they do to the man? But, you know, like I was going into, they can take him out. That's not going to put pause down because we're not a bunch of followers. We're a bunch of leaders following somebody that's leading us. So you can say, you can try to cut the head off the snake. And you're just going to have 10 more heads grow. You understand how that's going to work? But on your side, you cut the head off on the snake, it's just going to disappear. He's got nothing but followers. You got to kill millions of us to stop your sick and twisted plan. Okay? There's only a few of you beta male weakling little bitches we got to take care of. Because the sheeple that you got following you guys right now, they're so brain dead, they'll follow with whatever way the winds blow. Just like any other animal. By the way, what I'm trying to get, they realize that Kamala's not going to win. It's obvious, okay? Even Oprah couldn't even save her ass. Like I say, every time she opens her mouth, she loses votes, and then they sit there and are saying now, well, yeah, she don't really have to answer a question. You don't really need to know her principles on the policies and stuff. As long as you're voting against Trump. We don't need to know what her policies are. I mean, this is how sick they're getting. But they sit there, you know Donald Trump's policies. Yep, well, you know, obviously you're admitting he's not lying. Anyway, so this is the thing. Are they going to start the war to stay in power? You know, do a Zelensky and cancel the election. All that stuff will never work here. Okay? But the thing is, they do that, all they are going to do is try to be king of a graveyard, which I have never understood out of any politician. I don't understand it. You know, you're going to have a nuclear war and then go into your bunkers and think you're going to come out to any resemblance of civility? You know, I'll tell you what. After the bombs start falling, I'll tell you what, the American people are going to realize real quick. The federal government, the governments are your enemy, and never trust them again, and never have them have them have to have any say over you again. I mean, they're really going to wake people up. But anyway, okay, war before the election. Yep, they're sure trying. They're sure trying. More money. Zelensky comes over here and he gets more money. And, him and the Pennsylvania mayor are signing bonds in that ammunition factory and stuff. Are you kidding me? Let him fight his war. I still don't understand why we got skin in the game. Well, obviously, we don't know why, but obviously the U.S. has been doing something over there that they're definitely trying to keep secret. Or there's some big secret in there that in Ukraine that, makes the world go round, and they don't want Russia to own the top piece of the pie. Who the hell knows? I don't know. I ain't got my phone in there. I'll get it when I'll deal with that after live and stuff. But anyway, yeah, I'll deal with that when I get done my live, but I'm sure it's on my phone. Thanks, Carol. I appreciate it. All right. But more money for the war. It must be nice for another country to be able to go to war with somebody, knowing that the U.S. taxpayer and U.S. government, U.S. taxpayer, flat out, is going to pay for the war. And if you really start losing it, they'll just start sending their people over to fight it. Do you realize that's the position we're in? If this stuff stays on? $8.7 billion? And then that piece of shit comes over here. Doesn't even wear a suit. That's one thing about your leaders. There's a reason they wear suits and stuff. Because they're supposed to look respectful. They respect the office. Okay? You dress up to go to church because you respect the other people and the church. He comes dressed like somebody walking down the street. Whatever. I guess if they put a real suit on the little man, he'd actually look like a little man. He probably gets his platform shoes from Robert De Niro, huh? Anyway, more money. But let's go back to the Cold War policy, how the U.S. and Russia handled themselves back then. They both knew they could destroy each other in the world. So they were smart about it. They didn't go around provoking the other side. I mean, Russia shot down that Korean jetliner, I can't remember, I think that was 83. And that was a big hiccup in the whole thing. But, we weren't, they get in a war like Afghanistan, we stayed out of it. Well, I can't say we stayed out of it. The CIA had Osama bin Laden doing his thing, and then we screwed him over, and then we got 9/11. You see how it all works? And then I guess Russia was kind of in the background helping Vietnam and North Korea. But we were able to make it through that. The only time where it got really dangerous, which isn't even close to as dangerous as it is now. Not even close. But when the 300,000 Chinese came over the hill in North Korea, and MacArthur wanted to nuke them, okay, that, and then the Cuban Missile Crisis. But, they knew their actions would destroy the world. So somebody blinked, okay? We're in a situation now where our leaders are flat out pushing for it. They are doing whatever they can to provoke Russia. I mean, just with them signing the bombs at that armaments factory. Are you kidding me? And then Russia gets some artillery shells from North Korea, and we get all bent out of shape. Anyway, and then Zelensky had his plan for the war. Plan for the war, everybody. Here's my plan. We're going to run to the bunkers, and then, hey, can we start shooting long-range missiles into Russia? Russia has changed their nuclear doctrine. Well, why shouldn't they? We already said that we want to disassemble the country and put Putin in jail for war crimes, right? But, what's Russia supposed to do? Just imagine we go around the world doing all this stuff, just bombing other cities, bombing other countries, killing all these people. How do we think it's not going to come to our shores? Moscow was being bombed, and Russia hasn't bombed a single capital in Europe, the US, or anywhere in the world. We don't have that type of restraint. Russian civilians are dying. I mean, we're trying to hit them like they weren't even getting hit in World War II. Because Germany didn't have no strategic bombing. No strategic bombers. And I think when the missiles came out, the V1 and V2, they were all launched towards the west, towards England and France. Anyway, but Russia's taking a beating. When do you think they're going to respond? They can hit our cities just like we can hit theirs. No, they can hit ours better because they have hypersonic missiles. Like I say, just throw some conventional warheads on those babies. And then I guess if they bomb our cities with conventional warheads, our factories, we don't have a right to nuke them now, do we? Since they don't have a right to nuke us, and we're sending our conventional weapons in to their cities, I guess, it's coming. It's coming. The more they push them. See, these other countries aren't going to act unless they absolutely get pushed into it until after the election. They ain't going to do it. Because, Russia realizes that when Trump gets into office, I'm sure they'll pass the lame duck session. If Trump gets it, they'll pass a $120 billion thing to Ukraine. Well, that's fine. I'm sure, whatever. But Trump's going to end the funding. So that's going to bring Ukraine to the peace tables. Okay? Just the way it is. They can't win unless somebody's supporting them. It's like some idiot, your friend gets himself in a fight and he's getting his ass kicked. He said, "Can't get in here and help me?" I don't have nothing to do with it, dude. Go learn your lesson. This is why neighbors need to learn how to get along with each other. But, and then them say, Russia's saying, hey, even if somebody bombs us that isn't a nuclear nation, but they're supported by a nuclear nation, see, they've had enough. They lost the Nord Stream pipeline, $10 billion? Which is really hurting Europe, Germany especially. And then, Europe, Biden hasn't gave his okay for long-range missiles. But Europe, they're all for it. What, they didn't have enough war in the first two? Now they didn't have nukes going off in World War II in their soil, so now they need them? Okay, to tell the politicians, you dumbasses, something, okay? Once a nation is nuclear, okay, they will never be taken over without using their nuclear arsenal, as much of it as they can. If anybody thinks any different, they're out of their minds. So you're going to sit there and try to dismantle Russia, right? Who's got the most nuclear weapons of any country. You know, they could just send off tactical nukes and make Europe. Hey, how's it going, Impeach? Successfully connected. Now, don't say anything that's going to get you put in jail again, but the food's good. Oh, I love that. Was a killer comment. Yeah, I don't understand why I don't ever get put in YouTube jail. But, you know, whatever. But yeah, I like listening to your channel. I really needed to be live with you last night. I mean, I don't know what it is. You're therapeutic or something. I don't understand. You just sitting there listening to your music and stuff. And I can come home after a hard day and you're on live. I click that on, and within 10 minutes, I'm relaxed. So checks in the mail, buddy. But yeah, you know, we all got to sit together. Like I say, your channel's growing, buddy. We're the new wave of YouTubers, okay? The old wave's going out. The old wave that made their living off YouTube, they're disappearing, okay? Create a vacuum. Yeah, that's, he goes, Carol, before I call him Impeach, because before Joe dropped out, his channel was Impeach Creepy Joe. So that's why anybody who's been there, we call him Impeach. And then after, he's got a couple channels. But anyway, he's a cool guy. From Jacksonville, North Carolina. Yep, Carol, not too far from you. Home of Camp Lejeune. Both places I've been, Camp Lejeune and Fort Bragg. Gotta tell you what, I ever come to North Carolina, I got a few people I'm going to visit. You know what we're going to do, Impeach? I want to just sit there and cruise Jacksonville all Friday night. Anyway, maybe stop in one of the bars, do some dancing. Oh, yeah. Oh, where was I? About Russia responding. Okay. I mean, I don't see how they've held up like they have, but like I say, I think they're waiting for the election. Because if Trump gets into office, countries are going to respect us again. Harris is going to bring World War III, flat out. I think, I don't want to say it in a bad way, but from a military strategic standpoint, if they give the election to Harris, she ain't going to win, okay? There's no way that woman's got 90 million votes in this country. But if they hand it to her and we do nothing about it, he's basically in a corner. He's got to strike. But hopefully he'll strike his real enemy, not the American people, but the American government. And then us American people can feel pretty sheepish that some other enemy of ours had to take care of our enemy. Anyway, then you got, they're poking at him. And, the thing is, why Russia's so important is because they can do to us what we can do to them. We've never had a country bombing us. I mean, if America was getting bombed by Russian bombs, like Russia's getting bombed by American bombs, how do you think Americans would be acting right now? You talk about running out of toilet paper. See, those people are hard over there. We're soft. I mean, they got bombs going off in their neighborhood, and they go to work the next day. It's too cold in an area. Kids don't have to go to school anymore. When I was going to school, lived out in the country, on the bus, what happens if the bus got stuck on the snowy road? Us kids got out, pushed them out. Yeah. And if we couldn't get out, they called another bus. Yeah, that's what we went to school in. Roads that buses could get stuck on. Now, if it's too cold or anything, a little bit too make you feel uncomfortable, we don't do it no more. but we're going to bomb the hell out of other countries and make them uncomfortable. It's just the craziness we live in. I don't understand the philosophy in America where we're allowed to do it to somebody else, but if that person or country stands up for themselves, what are you doing? So we got World War III. That's the most obvious, okay? It's got to be because that's who they're pushing the hardest. Carol Prince. So when is Harris supposedly going to visit our southern border? Hopefully, when they kick her on that side of it. Hopefully, she goes visit and they just escort her right across the border. Here, you can have her. Wouldn't that be sweet? You know, yeah, southern border, like that short I made. She says the borders are secure. So let's put her in charge of the security of our nuclear weapons and, with control to launch them. I think that woman's just a little bit too emotional for that. By the way, now we get China to Taiwan. Okay, bring up China because, yes, they can cause us some damage. Not as much as Russia. Okay. But they can cause us some damage. And when they go in moving in on Taiwan, there's really not much we can do. But see, the thing is, they move in on Taiwan, they're going to try to take over Japan eventually, too. You guys got to remember there's a lot of bad feelings between the Japanese and the Chinese because of World War II. Need I say the rape of Nanking? Terrible what people will do when they're fed with hate and being convinced of lies. Kind of like BLM and Antifa, huh? With no remorse and no repercussions for their actions. What happens then? You create animals with no social or emotional discipline. All right. One thing there in China, Japanese ship sailed through the Taiwan Straits and China, having all a fit about it. What a bunch of hypocrites. I mean, they're flying in the Taiwanese airspace all the time, surrounding the island with ships and stuff. Whatever, China. Thank you, Bill Clinton, for making the modern day China. Appreciate it. Even though you Democrats will say Trump did it. No, it's not like China made nuclear powered submarines in 2 years. That was because Clinton was selling them that stuff. Anyway, one thing about a war with China too. Why was the U.S. so successful in World War II? Because we could out-manufacture any country. Carol Prince. They're sending more troops to the Middle East. There's a lot of military in my neighborhood. A lot of them has already left. Let's see. I was trying to remember when Operation Bright Star was in Egypt. Anyway, the one thing about the troop movements, well, you're by the base stuff, so you hear more stuff. But there's always a flotilla. I hear about Marines out there. They're always out there. There's always a Marine amphibious unit out there. Okay? When one comes back, one's already, they cross into the Gibraltar Straits. They're in Spain. One comes, one leaves. Okay? At least that's the way it was when I was in. I'm sure it's the same now. But the Army, that's different. I remember we were in Operation Bright Star, right? And these Army guys came on the ship, and it was supposed to be over in a couple days. And they go to us. So when you guys going home? We go, We don't go home until the ship goes home because they were talking about how they were going to be going home in a couple days. They go, oh, that sucks. Yeah, we were that was our base, you might say, the ship. So anyway, yeah, China can out manufacture us by a long shot. I mean, I wonder if they make their military stuff in better quality than the stuff they send us. I'm assuming so, because if you made a jet fighter like that, it'd fall apart before it got off the ground. But they can way out manufacture us, and if they want to take over the United States, just start flying over and start dropping Chinese out of planes until there's more Chinese here than there are Americans. If China were to lose 500, 600 million people in a war, it wouldn't hurt them a bit. But see, we're nuclear. That's the ace in the hole. Just the ace in the hole. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if everybody could just get along? Ella, when I was going to answer your talk about my live, glad you like the channel. Oh yeah. Like I say, yesterday it calmed me down. I don't know. You're like it just like it just works for whatever it takes to work, so you can find your center again. Especially when you got to sit and listen to all this garbage all day long. Yep. Well, I like your channel. Okay. Like I say, just be careful of Bigfoot out there. Yeah, all drama free. Love the music. See, out here where I live, we don't even really get the only radio station that comes in all the time is NPR, wherever you're at. Otherwise, depending on where you're at, you don't get no radio, or sometimes you'll be at a focal point where you get 3 stations coming in at one time, and sometimes we got one station that comes in pretty good in most places, but like I say, it's so hilly and stuff, it's hard for the FM. But you know what? It's flyover country. But I listen to music when I watch your channel. So anyway, now these I'm not too worried. Well, North Korea, I guess they can nuke us too. I like to rock out and hang out on my tubies. We got a few stations, not many. Smoke out, yeah. But North Korea, yeah, they get us, but we can turn them into glass real quick. And hopefully our missile defense systems can at least take out third world countries' missiles like that. And can you imagine a third world country can't even feed its own people, but they have nuclear tipped missiles? That's the priority of their leaders. Oh, your grandson graduated Coast Guard today? Is he going to be on what coast? And oh, the Keys, drug running stuff. So, yep, Coast Guard's is a forgotten part of the service, and in a war they are very important. Well, check, wasn't it a few years ago? Was it during? I don't think it was during Trump. I think it was during Obama that a Coast Guard cutter actually sailed through the Taiwan Straits. Homeland Security. Yeah. Yeah, I just hope everybody's prepared. I just hope everybody's prepared. I mean, we're a whole world of hurt's about to get opened up on this whole world. The Democrats are willing to destroy the whole world to supposedly stay in power. I still say power over what? Power over a graveyard. Wait. Now we got Israel. Started with Hamas, or I should say, never been at war with Iran, but it's been back and forth, right? A few missiles back and forth. But so we got Iran, and then they took out Hamas, which they had every right to. That was their 9/11, and they had a right to respond. Okay. But, I guess just like our 9/11, now we're going to go they're going to go into Lebanon too. Okay. They use their war of terror to spread terror. I don't want to talk bad about the Jewish government. Oh, sea rescue? So is he like a swimmer and stuff then, where he's a frogman, where he jumps on the chopper and does all that rescuing? This is the thing. When you're in the service, you do so many things that you would never, as a civilian, get to do. Yeah, we always have a carrier group in the Med. See, if you don't understand troop movements and stuff and how they work and stuff and deployments and how they work, when like I say, we were out on deployment and we take care of the Med in the Indian Ocean, right? When we were coming back, when we started coming back, the other Mao was taken over, so there was always protection there. This is why with Hillary Clinton and that ambassador in Libya and stuff, makes no sense. They had people hours away who could have sat there and it came to their aid. Choppers could have flew in and got them out of there. 13 hours that went on. See, this thing too, when you're in the service, right? You can see all the bullshit lies because when you used to do it, you were part of it, and they try to give these flat out lies on TV unless they change. Well, they are pretty incompetent these days. But, the thing is, we have troops all over the world at all the time. Marines are a reactionary group. We have them in the Med and in the ocean. We have them out in the Pacific. They're not always on the ships, but they're ready to go. Marines are at a moment's notice to go any place. That's why when you're on air alert, you can be anywhere in the world in 24 hours. It's crazy time. But now Israel's Hamas, okay? My thing is, none of them can affect the United States. Iran can't hit us except with their terrorist cells they got in this country, okay? But, the average civilian in this country is going to find out real quick that they are a soldier on the front line, okay? And then we can take care of this problem. But let's let them fight it out. I mean, I know your parents. What do you mean let them fight it out? Let them fight it out. Let the stronger man survive at the end. And if they turn the whole Middle East into glass, then so be it. And we gave money to Israel. I mean, is the American taxpayer really getting tired of going to work every day so he can make money, so we can spend it on World War III? I mean, we're up to over $300 billion so far in the last 2 years with all these wars. And I guess, war. So they want. And you got Trump out there saying, I'll end this shit. Period. I will have peace. But no, he's a Hitler. Really? See, this is the thing. Harris gets in, the world's going to start on fire. Because just like Russia, they don't have a choice. Excuse my language. Just like Harris gets in, us American people, patriots, don't have a choice no more. You can no longer kick this can down the road. People know we are no longer free. The whole world's about to get lit up, and they want this. They're Looney Tunes. They think, I mean, everybody knew between the 50s and I guess the 90s or the early 2000s that a nuclear exchange between us and Russia would be the end of the world. People don't think that no more. Just like people don't think communism is bad. Really? People are just lost. You know, I see these comments I get, and it's just like, God, can you people wake up? And you got a 10-year-old from Arizona in school flat out saying to CNN, she's a liar. Biden doesn't scare anybody. Here's Kamala. I mean, we're dealing with, okay, Putin. He rides horses. He's in the martial arts. He was a colonel in the KGB. Okay, he's way up here trying to prevent World War III. Like I say, holding his patience, waiting for Trump to get in because he's dealing with cackles and Biden. I mean, if you're trying to negotiate peace with these people, how are you supposed to do it? If you were Putin, how would you approach peace with these people? How? We can't even convince these people what the phrase shall not be infringed means. And you're going to expect the foreign leader who they want to wipe his country off the map to convince these morons? Well, I'm glad you brought up the economy, impeach. Yeah, Russian economy is doing a lot better than ours. Let's not forget that. All those sanctions we put on Russia, boy, I'm sure glad because it's hurting the hell out of us. Plus paying for all these wars, inflation. Yeah, they talk about inflation. And they just spent $8.7 billion we don't have to Ukraine. I don't understand how these people are still in power. I don't understand how we allowed the Treasury of the United States to be robbed completely. Just like Rome spent all the people's money on wars and politicians getting rich. AOC, Congress, 4 years, 50,000 a year, and you're worth 29 million in 4 years. Maybe we need to investigate some of that stuff. Okay, just we're coming up to the election. The only way to prevent this is, like I say, Trump is no George Washington. And there's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done. But he'll at least stave off this war. Like I say, these other countries, Russia has no other choice. Because if Kamala gets in there, it's World War III. Kamala gets elected, that lame duck session will pass $1 trillion spending bill to go to Ukraine. Make all this other stuff seem small. I mean, why else would they be spending all this money there? There's no way Ukraine can pay us back unless we win the war. It's not like Russia's going to, after they take Ukraine over, is going to say, here, we'll give you all the money you give Ukraine. I mean, remember, we confiscated a bunch of Russian assets. Remember that? And now Ukraine wants to sell them off so they can get money to fight the war. These people have no conscience. You say, Trump, vote for Trump is a vote for peace and freedom. Bring peace to the earth. Okay? Freedom to our country again. And we need to demand this. And maybe Trump don't realize that, like I say, if he don't go through with what he gets in there, I'm going to be just as hard on him every day. Get rid of the Department of Health and Human Services. Deport all the illegals, not just the criminals, because they're all criminals. 39 days, I know, it's crazy. I'm voting early. I decided I'm going to go and vote early because I don't need no chance of November 5th of a snowstorm rolling in and I can't go vote. I don't know if anybody realizes, but who else has to drive 105 miles one way to vote? If you don't vote, it's a vote for communism. If you vote for Trump, it's a vote for peace and freedom. If you vote for Harris, I hope your bomb shelter's ready. Okay? If you're not a prepper and you vote for Harris, I can't believe a prepper that would. But if you're not a prepper and you vote for Harris, oh my God. You know, these preppers that say, yep, I'm going to buy stuff for other people and, whatever. You're going to become the new welfare office. Why would anybody, and I don't want to be cold about this, but why would anybody want to save the life of somebody that put us into this mess? Oh, they'll be woke up for a little bit. And then when things cool down after 20 years, they'll just start infesting the brains of the young ones, okay? We need to eradicate this cancer. If they want to start World War III and nuke, whatever, okay? I don't have to worry about that out here. Do you think they're going to waste a nuke in the middle of nowhere? But don't worry. They'll take care of all your supporters in the cities. The blue, where's the blue? On the coast, in the big cities. So when you do come out of your bunker, you're going to be surrounded by nothing but a bunch of pissed off patriots. Because your people, like I say, they can't even handle what I say on YouTube, and it upsets them so much. Right, Jeff Bezos? What are you going to do when stuff really gets stupid, okay? When the utopia you wanted backfires and there's bombs flying everywhere. These people are going to lose their minds. I mean, flat out lose their minds. I mean, do you think our country's even close prepared to what the people in Britain, London, in all the cities in Germany, throughout Europe that got bombed and civilians killed for the firestorms? I mean, all these people that want to send money to Ukraine need to seriously watch some World War II bombing videos. Lived too soft for too long. And they're willing to pay for this. Bring it on, buddy. It'll never come here. We're still stronger than Russia. They believe all this stuff. And our military hospitals are full of people that don't know what they got between their legs. I should do some research on this. If they are actually allowing men to dress up in women's dress uniforms. Because when we got camis on, of course, men or women, we're all wearing camis. Do they allow the men to wear earrings? Do they allow the men to have long hair if they think they're a woman? We don't need California no more. No. But see, this is the thing. I want every American to understand this. This is our country. Every last inch of it, every last stone of it is ours. And I don't believe we should have to give it up to these pieces of garbage. California was a great, basically little country. What was it, sixth in the economy in the world before the Democrats took over. I want California back the way it was. Because if we give it to the Democrats, I don't care what kind of wall we build around California. We're not going to be able to keep the damn snakes out of our country. No, not one single rock do they get. Push them into the frickin' sea. Put them on their little boats and send them to China. Okay? Not one little piece of property do they get. They haven't earned it. I mean, the people that built California up, the people that are tearing it down are benefited from it. It's robbing California blind. Robbing it blind. Anyway, so 39 days. Prep. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I'm just going over, and I probably ain't gonna have to go shop for 2 or 3 years after November 6th. I really don't care. Because out here, we're immune from all this stuff. People just don't understand. We don't fret none of it out here. None of it. And it's hard to explain that to somebody who lives in a big city or a high threat area or even in a rural area in a different state. This is the least populated place in the United States. The Indians didn't even want to live here. You look at an Indian map of the Indian nations and stuff, this area, none of the Indian nations claimed it. There's a lot of game here, but if you got a tribe of 10,000, there's not. But when you got one person every 20 miles, yeah, there's a lot of game here. But if we had to defend the game, if we had 20,000 Haitians out here, well, it'd get cleaned off mighty quick. Or we'd clean them out real quick. This is why I'm here. Because I knew something bad was going to happen. I had to get out of a high threat area. And I consider a high threat area being surrounded by people. After all the dust settles and stuff, and the bombs aren't falling no more, people start scavenging the ones that are left on their own. That's going to be your danger. Getting away from the bombs, and then, making sure you're safe from marauders. I usually don't do a video. I always try to stay to domestic stuff, and maybe that's what I'll do on Sunday. But I tell you what, this World War III is really starting to get me worried. They're really pushing for it. We got people that just aren't as educated as the rest of us. And they say, oh, we got your best interest in mind. Really? Russia's got fallout shelters, I believe, for all their people. What do you got? What did your government build for you for when they started a nuclear war so you could survive? Did you have a construction company come up and build you a fallout shelter? Set your basement up? Did they send you a check for, I don't know, $1 million so you could set your own up? No. Anyway, but they want to start it. And it just doesn't matter. We got to pray that Trump gets in. And it'll give us some time. But if we don't solve the problems and the truth don't come out about the crimes that this country has committed, and we reinstate the Constitution, that piece of paper that made this country so great, the moral people that used to follow it that made this country so great, that ended up making the world so great because they benefited off this country being great. Go back to cowboy days and the oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm all for Clint Eastwood. That's my style of cowboy. I'm not a John Wayne, I'm a Clint Eastwood. I'll come into town with that look on my face like, we don't exactly know how to read this guy. And then I'll sit there and play the victim and then come off. Vote Trump. Yeehaw. Yep. It doesn't matter, okay? Kamala's losing support like crazy. I mean, you go to a 10-year-old school and a 10-year-old boy, you can't even fool him. You're going to talk to 10-year-olds to try to convince adults to support Kamala? What is wrong with these people? Yeah, I'm gonna follow at 57. I'm gonna start following the advice of a 10-year-old because they listen to their teacher. I just think it's funny, that video. She's a liar. What do you think of Kamala Harris? She's a liar. Imagine they never brought up Trump. Anyway, and then that one video of that. So it's funny. Her 3-year-old boy singing, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the cats. And she goes, where'd you hear that? And the kids just go, you better not sing that at daycare. Yeah, she'd probably get a ticket. All I know is we got all this stuff going on YouTube in that Karma Chameleon song from Culture Club. I mean, if Harris has all this support, where's the stuff about that Harris has for her side on this? Nothing. Fruit salad, word salad extraordinaire. That's all she is. But like I say, she don't have to answer a question no more, even if it's yes or no. We don't need to know what her policies are. You just need to make sure you vote against Trump because you know what his policies are. There's no way I'd ever. It's like, it's insanity. How am I supposed to know how somebody believes if they're not going to tell me? Like I say, why can't she talk? Oh, I guarantee you. Yep, thanks, impeach. Not a problem. Anyway, she wants to say what she wants. She could speak intelligently. Oh, yeah. But it's just a subject that's un-American. It's the Communist Manifesto 2.0. And that's her platform. And that's why she won't talk. Because this is how she's been talking her whole life. She don't know how to talk like a patriot or even an American anymore. I'll give you stuff. I'll give you stuff. Okay, are you going to write it with your checkbook and give them this stuff? Because I'm sick of paying for it. Anyway, if your best platform is buying votes and pandering to people that, good night, vote Trump. Yeah, thank you, Carol. Okay. Oh, it's been an hour. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here for the night. But the thing is, a vote for Harris, communism, World War III. A vote for Trump is peace and freedom, at least for a little bit. I hope it doesn't come to World War III, but boy, when you got world leaders wanting it this bad, why we have World War II? Because Hitler wanted to go until, if they would have declared war on him after Poland, he would stop there. Eventually, we were going to have World War II because we had a maniac pushing for it. Now we got the same scenario. We got maniacs pushing for it. Anyway, we got an election coming up. Maybe we can do something about it. Anyway, everybody have a great night. This is Lone Wolf Prepper out.